As we continue this series on bangs, we're going to talk about our curved and flat versions of our classic bangs. Now, if somebody is going to typically wear their hair more straight, then I am totally okay with cutting them dry or wet. The more texture your bangs have, the less tension I'm going to use. I never pull down with a ton of tension on the bangs. I typically let my comb do the tension for me, or pull down, make tension, and then release that tension just a little bit. Let's say Erica did her own bangs, and we can see clearly they are higher on this side, lower on that side. Her hair tends to go this way, so they're thicker, they're thinner here. So we're gonna give her the full treatment. And today we're gonna cut these bangs dry because I've been cutting them wet. It's totally fine to do them dry. She let her hair air dry. I can kind of see naturally where her hair likes to be. But really we're gonna talk about creating that curved shape, and then we're gonna talk about how to get rid of the curved shape. If I'm sectioning my bangs according to the way that I typically like to, I'm going from the center, past the edge of the eyebrows. But we also need to just visually inspect and make sure that these are being parted to the right place and that they look balanced. I'm gonna clean them up just a little bit. Now, as far as I can see in my monitor, we're looking pretty clean and fairly balanced. It's important to know that not everybody is symmetrical either. So if we want to take it to the next level, we can actually make them look a little bit more balanced in the way that we cut the bangs. Mannequins should be symmetrical, so we're just gonna give her a nice even parting. Here's some hair that was just kind of falling into the bangs that wasn't included previously. When I encounter this with a guest, I've taken my parting, I can clearly see this hair wants to be in the bangs. I will point it out to them. And I'll say, hey, I noticed this hair probably should be in the bangs. Would you like to add it in today? Now what we're gonna do with these bangs is we're gonna use over direction. We're going to pull everything to the center. And you can see, despite these longer ones, that this is pretty flat right there. We're gonna give her a slightly shorter version of what she has. And then she's gonna need some cleanup as well. So I want you to notice how the hair that travels the furthest will remain the longest, whereas the hair in the center will become shortest. Something to keep in mind is your body position as a stylist. If you're standing over on the edge and you cut it, you're going to get something that's uneven. It doesn't look nice. So I need to make sure that I'm holding them right in the center. And for that reason, either have your guest turn their neck so they're facing you, making sure their head is level, or go ahead and stand right in front of your guest. So I'm gonna stand in front of her and we're gonna change camera views a little bit. Now, since I'm cutting this dry, the shear's tendency to push the hair as I close them is going to be increased. See how that hair gets pushed away from my shears just gently as I close them? I talked about this in another video and talked about how we should draw the shears away as we're closing them to help with that. So I'm going to pull everything fairly tight all the way to the center. And she was a little bit longer on the left side, so that makes sense that it's looking a little bit longer right here, right now. So I'm just going to take little bite-sized pieces, drawing my shears away as I close them. Don't be in a hurry. It can't be just one big chop, especially when you're dry cutting. Now I'm point cutting to just break it up a little bit. Now I'm using a pretty wide angle lens right now, so that may make this line look crooked. I promise you it's straight. Then we let go and examine our work. She's still longer on the left side, but at this point, I'm feeling pretty good about the shape, good enough that I can now do some freehand polishing. So I can take now I want you to notice that I have one hand in contact with the guest. My dominant hand is resting on that hand, and I'm able to get something really steady. If I'm just floating out here, my chances of getting a really, really steady cut are lowered. I can see corner of the eye, so I have some ways to go with this one. And make sure that hair is combed all the way out to where it's ultimately going to sit. Because if I make it perfect when it's right here, then when I let go, when it travels back that way, it's going to be even longer. So here we are down past the corner of the eye. There, we're down past the corner of the eye. But we're still higher up there, over the eye itself. So I can take and freehand cut this out a bit. And don't be afraid to comb it. If combing it messes it up, then you haven't done a good job yet. A lot of our job as hairstylists is to try to mess something up and then fix it. When I'm doing this, I'm gonna try to create a circumstance where her hair gets messed up. And if I reintroduce that circumstance and the hair doesn't get messed up, then I feel a lot more confident about the job that I've done. We could just leave it at that, but she has some color variation and some thickness over here that needs a bit of cleaning up. So we can do just like we did with our curtain fringe, just really soft. This is the line I just cut. So I need to make sure that some of that falls out so I can maintain that line. And notch in here. Since the color is making some variation for me, maybe I can strategically just pick one of those colors to trim. If there are highlights in the fringe that are making it look a little bit chunky or choppy, if they want the highlights to be there, then maybe focus on point cutting the dark hair out. And that will change the interplay of the dark hair and light hair and make them seem smoother. So notice how that point cutting changed the opacity on this side too. Not only are they blending in well, but I can see a little bit of forehead through the bangs as well. So it's making the whole composition a little bit more uniform. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you enjoy being nerdy about hair and hearing the occasional dad joke, go ahead and check out another one of my videos. If you want to see them as soon as they come out, go ahead and click subscribe. Feel free to share this video with any of your nerdy friends. I'll see you next time. Thanks.